Hi guys! This video is going to be very different to all the other videos that I have done. Mainly because I have found out, recently I have found out really good news about my family history, about my family tree. And my dad has been researching into his family tree for years now, and just recently we have gone back, way back to the 1600s. So on last Wednesday, on the 3rd of October 2012, I found out that we are distant relatives of a very famous classical Hollywood actress. She's no longer with us, unfortunately, but she has a very famous legacy. So let me just explain that this famous person's great grandfather, his cousin, married my fifth great grandfather, and also her her fifth great grandfather is my seventh great grandfather, which is very exciting. And that famous person that we are related to is, drumroll, is Judy Garland, which is very exciting because I have been a massive fan of Judy Garland ever since I was a little girl. I watched The Wizard of Oz all the time, and I followed her movies, her singing voice, everything about her, find out different pieces of trivia, all very exciting, from one minute being a huge fan and her being my inspiration, to finding out the next minute that I'm a distant blood relative of hers is so very overwhelming. My mum actually filmed my reaction to finding out that we are related to Judy Garland on Wednesday, late at night, because my dad had told my mum, and then my mum went out to choir practice, but she said to my dad, don't tell her until I've come home so I can see her reaction, because they knew that I was going to be over the moon, or should I say over the rainbow, about finding out this piece of information. But I'm going to now put the video of my reaction into this video, so here it is. Yeah, so that was all very exciting, but I'm now going to explain how we are related, and I'm going to show you the pieces of evidence to prove that I am, because I know that people will say, oh, how do you know that, that you bet that's not true, blah blah blah, but it is true because we found out through other family contacts that we are related to this Judy Garland, and also Liza Minnelli and Lorna Luft, who are Judy Garland's children, and also famous actresses and singers as well. So yes, I'm just going to explain all of this. Here we go.
Okay, so here we go. The first piece of evidence is a distant contact, being John Miller, who is another relative of ours, but we've never met him. Sent an email to my dad because my dad noticed that he was related to Judy Garland, but my dad didn't know if we were also related. But here is the email. Found a few moments to respond. Firstly, I've given you access to my tree at Tribal Pages. It should help you find out more. Secondly, we are obviously related, blah 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 blah. James Dunbar was my third great grandfather. Here's the relationship of that James Dunbar with Judy Garland. And you may be able to trace your royal lineage through the tree too. I am only related to the early kings, but blah, blah, blah. That's not important. You can obviously fill in some gaps down your line of the tree. It would be good if you could let me have this info. So yeah, Judy Garland, Judy's great-great-great-grandfather's cousin, that's wrong, this might be husband, is Dunbar James, 1766. Okay, so the first person that we're looking at is John Lovey, born in 1669. And that's him right there. This is Judy's family tree. This is Judy Garland's family tree here. And so John Lovey, 1669, and he had a child called George Lovey, who is up here. Where am I going from here? Married, had a child, Jean Lovey, who was Judy Garland's great-great-grandmother. Here we go. Jean Lovey, up here, married Alexander Milne. Had a child, Charles Milne, 1827, who is Charles Milne, 1827, Judy's first great-grandfather. And then Charles Milne married and had a child, John Milne, who had a child, Ethel Marion Milne, who married Frank Gum, so she became Ethel Marion Gum. And then they had children, Mary Jane Gum, Dorothy Virginia Gum, and Judy Garland. And then that's Judy Garland there. So that's Judy's family tree, and then that's also here. So John Milne being her grandfather, Ethel Milne being her mother, and then Judy Garland, 1922 to 1969. And then on to my family tree. So here is James Dunbar, who married Anne Bremner, who is a cousin of George Lovey, who happens to be her third great-grandfather. And on my family tree, I am the 8th generation to James Dunbar. So here's James Dunbar, born 1766. And then married Anne Brebner, and had a child, George Dunbar, both from Aberdeenshire. And then there's a lot of pages here. It's about 10 pages, but I'm not going to go through all that. But my gran is among the 5th generation, the great-grandchild of James Dunbar, Flora West Dunbar, born 1925 and died in 2006, Scotland. And she married Alexander Woodpiper, who is my granddad. And then had children, Gordon, John and David. But John is my dad. also from Aberdeen or Fraserburgh. And then had children, me, Louise. This is amongst the 7th generation, I think. Yep, this is among the 7th generation. So my dad is 4th. James Lombard is my dad's 4th great grandfather. Yep, so that is me there. And here's my brother. Yeah, so that meets the 8th generation. And here I am here. Born 10th December 1986, Edinburgh. So yes, if you look on Judy Garland's trivia page, you'll see that she has Scottish and Irish ancestors. Turns out that we are part of the Scottish heritage, and we are the Scottish ancestors. So there you go, that is the evidence that I am related to Judy Garland, and also Liza Minnelli and Lorna Luft.
My very exciting video of the day, completely different to every other video I've done, as I said before. But I hope you guys have a lovely week ahead of you. And I'll talk to you all soon. See you later. Bye!